A very good morning and a very good Sunday morning to all our Sports Today family members. And it was a very, very anticlimactic and what we may say a very damp end to what promised to be a thrilling encounter. India versus Pakistan, and whatever we saw, it had the makings of a very good match. But then, unfortunately, the steady drizzle that accompanied the teams in Palakele unfortunately saw the game being abandoned. And for the first time in 26 years, you've seen an India versus Pakistan match getting abandoned in the Asia Cup. Yes, in 1997 in Colombo, there was an abandonment, and that is why India and Pakistan had to share points even then. 26 years later in Palakele, you've seen India and Pakistan share the spoils yet again, which means that Pakistan have reached the Super Fours. India just have to beat Nepal to ensure that they get to the Super Fours. Now, in case all of you are wondering what is the situation when it comes to the weather in Palakele, well, there is bad news, and you may interpret it as a bit of a good news because every weather agency in central Sri Lanka yesterday had stated that there would be a band of rain from 8 to 10 p.m. onwards. They were proven right, but it wasn't rain, it was drizzle. Now, because Palakele is in such an area where it is uncertain and also it's in a rain shadow area, it got the drizzle ensured that we could not get a match. Kandy, on the other hand, got a lot of rain yesterday, and even today, when Nikhil did the live that you did on the Asia, the World Cup squad announcement, at that time you could see it was still raining. So India versus Nepal, also the weather is not looking that good. Now what happens? India versus Nepal, if the game is washed out, then India will still go through to the Super Fours because of a better net run rate. As simple as that. Because Nepal have a very abysmal net run rate of minus 4.7. Pakistan have 4.7 in the positive, and that is the reason why India, if they just manage the rain washes out play there in Palakele, they will get 2 points. Nepal will just have 1 point, and because of that, they still go through. The weather, on the other hand, now this is where I have a major problem with the decision to play in Sri Lanka at this point in time. Now remember, September to December or January onwards, it's not the good time to play in Sri Lanka. Why is that? Because this is the retreating monsoon that is going away from Sri Lanka. But in the next couple of months, you're going to have the double whammy of the northeast monsoon as well. Sri Lanka gets pummeled by both the southwest and the northeast monsoons also. So the best time to play November to December or January also, you still get impacted by rain. Now, if you check the entire weather for Colombo and Kandy in the next couple of weeks, from 4th, we may say, till about 11th, it's not good news. Colombo's weather is even worse as predicted than Kandy because 10th, where we potentially could see a second India versus Pakistan encounter, there's rain predicted there as well, 88%. However, we hope that in that 88%, the 12% that will not be rain impacted is hopefully where the match is taking place, which is the R. Premadasa Stadium. But it is no guarantee. Colombo's weather is far more prominent than Kandy. Kandy, at least you could argue that it was uncertain. Palakele was very uncertain until the very last moment. But then 8 to 10, it was proven that there would be rain, and it did rain in that India versus Pakistan encounter. And remember, whenever the hills get totally clouded, that means it is a big problem in Palakele. There will be rain. So it is a very important thing now to understand that had there been no political tensions between India and Pakistan, you could have had the tournament in Pakistan without any of these rain complications. Up here in the north and near in Pakistan, there is absolutely no rain threat. Why then would you want to organize matches in a country where there is going to be constant rain from September onwards till about the December, January? It begs the question. Many nations did not want to go to the UAE because of the extreme weather there, and also because traveling would have been a bigger problem as compared to Pakistan and Sri Lanka. But still, political tensions between India and Pakistan have ensured that this Asia Cup is now threatening to be affected by rain on a much more bigger basis now, because Pakistan's games, they end by 6th. That's it. No games are then played in Pakistan. From 9th till 17th, every game is in Colombo. Now, Colombo's weather is also not that great. What are you going to do then? Can this have been sorted out much easily? Did they want easy solutions? No. So the weather is going to play a massive role in this Asia Cup. Whether you like it or not, most games now from Colombo onwards, they are going to be impacted by rain on a consistent basis. But Kanji's weather is unpredictable. Babar Azam had stated that weather can be very unpredictable. He's got local knowledge. He's played for quite a few weeks in the LPL and in the 3 ODIs against Afghanistan. Here, it is going to be very unpredictable. So one hopes that the rain stays away for the remainder of the Asia Cup. India, Nepal also there is rain prediction. Colombo also there is rain prediction. So that's why the weather is really going to play nuisance in this Asia Cup, unfortunately, whether you like it or not. Now, there was a lot of India versus Pakistan bonhomie. There was not much of hostility around. The players were really friendly with each other. Even the fans engaged in a lot of good banter. There was also friendship, which was very good to see. One moment indeed was sad during the India versus Pakistan encounter, and that was Haris Rauf giving a very improper send-off to Ishan Kishan, and that led to a lot of flack on social media. Haris Rauf giving that kind of a send-off to Ishan Kishan, maybe in the heat of the moment, but whether it is acceptable, it's very debatable. I mean, Ishan Kishan was struggling with cramps, and because of that, he had to play that shot. Maybe that shot selection was not proper, but because he was suffering from cramps, what can you do? So Haris Rauf's send-off was the only sore point that happened. But then otherwise, looking at the bonhomie, and after the match, you saw India and Pakistan players chat in a very friendly way. It's a big change from all the issues that plagued India and Pakistan cricketers in the 90s, in the 2000s. Now the atmosphere is much more friendlier. Many fans are saying, oh, this dilutes the rivalry. But then in reality, a rivalry can also be healthy. A healthy rivalry can also lead to good cricket being played, good relations can also be done. So that's why fan jingoism and political opportunism is the one thing that SARS sporting rivalries. And that's why if both of those are kept away, you see how good a match can be, how good relationships can be. So India versus Pakistan, a lot of bonhomie that we saw between the fans and the cricketers, which was excellent to see. But then the Haris Rauf send-off to Ishan Kishan, very debatable whether you wanted to do that or not. Now, today you're going to see Bangladesh versus Afghanistan in the Asia Cup encounter. And remember, if Bangladesh lose this, then they are out of the Asia Cup. And when was the last time they won an Asia Cup encounter? You have to go back to 2018 against Pakistan. They didn't win anything in the 2022 Asia Cup. Now they are going to try and win against Afghanistan. If Afghanistan win this, Afghanistan and Sri Lanka go through. Simple. If Bangladesh beat Afghanistan, then the Afghanistan versus Sri Lanka match becomes a knockout. Whoever wins that goes through. That's how fine that group is. India and Pakistan are very lucky that they have been placed in the same group and also in a very easy group. Not so with Sri Lanka, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. So one of the top teams from that group could essentially go out. That is the match we are looking at today. Bangladesh versus Afghanistan. So we at Sports Today will be bringing you all the updates on that. Well, as far as the World Cup preliminary squad announcement is concerned, Nikhil did a total 16-minute video from Kandy. You can check that out. The main focus is on KL Rahul's fitness, and that's why Nikhil in that video explicitly stated that the squad announcement will be made on September 5, which is the final day. September 5 is the final day, and you can check out that video for other details also if you want, because initially there was a confusion that maybe the squad announcement would happen today. But it's been confirmed. Nikhil has done the video from Palakele. It's like September 5 is the announcement. Key point in that is there might be a press conference that AajTak might do along with Rohit Sharma in Kanji on September 5. So we will be keeping a very close eye on that as well. Now, moving on to other sports, hockey fives. India hockey fives have created history in Oman with both the men and the women winning the inaugural Asia Cup Hockey Fives tournament. And it is a proud moment, and it continues India's dominance if you look at it in Asia. Recently, the men's team won the Asian Men's Champions Trophy, and now India have won the Hockey Fives tournament. India's men's team have beaten Pakistan 4-2 on penalties in the Hockey Fives. And the women's team have also secured gold, and because of that, they have qualified for the main FIH Hockey Fives World Cup that will be held in Oman in February 2024. Now, what is the Hockey Fives? I will do a special video explaining the rules, explaining every single aspect of it. You can check out that video that will be up on Sports Today in the afternoon period. Now, Mohammad Khalid is asking, what's the weather update on tomorrow India match, India versus Nepal match? Well, Mohammad Khalid, it's not looking good. It's again, rain is forecast in Palakele on the 4th, but the weather can be very unpredictable. Remember, in Palakele, there is never a steady, heavy downpour. It's always a steady drizzle. It's always a steady rain that ensures that the outfield can be wet. And you saw in the covers how it was. When the covers were on the field, there was a lot of water. It was steady rain. It wasn't heavy, stormy kind of a situation because it's on the other side of the hills in Kanji. So that's why the weather update is not looking good for India versus Nepal. We pray that we can get a full game in because India needs all the fitness workouts from their bowlers. They need their bowlers to perform because yesterday the main takeaway was that we could not see our bowlers in action. Bumrah, is Yappa bowling 10 overs? All the others, are they in rhythm? We missed a golden opportunity in that because of rain. Should India pick bowling, or if they win toss, or will they bat first to boost confidence of batters? If India bats first, we'll not have full match. Crick Maniac, it's a good point. Everybody was criticizing the fact that why did India bat, especially in a truncated game. You knew that weather was going to play a part. Why did you bat? And the criticism became even more vocal when Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli got out cheaply. But I have a different view to that. If you bat first, it's a sign of confidence. Yes, if you bat first on the minefield and then you get bowled out for 100, hindsight will suggest that it's not a good decision. But if you bat first, it actually sets the tone to dictate the game to you. It's like a game of chess. Supposing, barring conditions aside, I move my first piece. I am attacking in the very first move. Batting first means I'm attacking on the first move. So, batting first, and if you pull it off, it can really put the opposition off plans. Yes, 14 out of 19, you saw that out of the 34 games, 19 games were won while chasing in Palakele. Now, looking at the conditions and looking at the situation tomorrow, India want to test themselves. Crick Maniac, a simple question to that is, India want to test themselves. Why? You've seen in the last couple of ICC major events, when India have batted first, they have tended to lose. They somehow don't defend totals well nowadays. However, if they bat second, you know that India are good in chasing. Maybe that is the weakness that they want to work upon in this Asia Cup. We want to bat first and ensure that we dictate terms to the opposition and we can defend a total. Chasing a total, it is our strength. Maybe that's the reason they would want to bat. But then you're right. If the weather continues to play like this, it would be sensible to chuck testing aside and ensure conventional wisdom prevails and we do what is our strength. Maybe India will want to try that out. So that is the current situation from the world of sports. Today it's Bangladesh versus Afghanistan. Whoever wins that, if Afghanistan win, Bangladesh are out. If Bangladesh win, the Afghanistan-Sri Lanka match becomes a knockout. That is a thriller that we are shaping up in Group B. Group A, on the other hand, India versus Nepal. That is going to be the thing. Jabez Leander is saying, how is India going to prepare for incoming left-arm bowlers in World Cup, sir? Great question. The simple answer and a brutal, blunt answer, Leander, to that is, you can't prepare. You cannot. Because you don't have the same quality of bowlers that are there in India. If they were there, they would have been playing in the Indian team. Now remember, how did India prepare for left-armers in this Asia Cup when they had the camp simulation at NCA? You had the likes of Jaydev Unadkat, you had the likes of Yash Dayal, you had the likes of Khalil Ahmed. All of them were bowling. But what is their pace? Hardly over 130, 135. Big difference when you're facing Mitchell Starc or Shaheen Afridi, who crank it up to over 140 and close to 145. How can you prepare? You can't prepare. No disrespect to Yash Dayal, no disrespect to Jaydev Unadkat, no disrespect to Khalil Ahmed, but they cannot crank that pace up to 145. Even if you have to say, oh, bring in Mohsin, bring in Yash Dayal, bring in all the other left armers that are there in the team, where is the pace? There is no pace. You are relying on your skill set alone to tackle the likes of Stark, Shaheen, Bolt, and all the others. Marco Janssen, when you look at it in the World Cup, just on skill. You have to rely on instinct and skill. There is no other way how you can rely on that. So it's a very brutal assessment, folks. You cannot prepare for left arm pace. You have to rely on your skill. Shaheen got a brilliant ball to dismiss Rohit Sharma incoming through the gate. Virat Kohli, unfortunately, that off-stump weakness, nothing short. Gautam Gambhir has also blasted Virat Kohli for playing such a shot. So that's why not a good situation at this point in time. So that's the way I'm seeing how they'll prepare. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And don't forget, we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Thank you.